How we doing, VC? Mr. Boulder here. Hope everyone's good and I hope you're all well. Um, yeah, Thanks to clear up before I start. I made a bit of a cock up last week in my video about 1990 thrash metal. Someone, I can't remember who it was now, very kindly pointed out to me that Overkill's Years of Decay came out in 1989. I was convinced it was 1990, but I was wrong. But yeah, there we go. These things happen, don't they? Collection update today. I what was I going to say? Yeah, some of this stuff I did actually have before I did my last collection video, but there was so much of it, and that video lasted like 25 minutes anyway. So if I'd have showed absolutely everything, the video probably would end up lasting about 3 weeks. So yeah, I've kept some of it back for this collection update, and I've still got some for another update. I just mentioned Overkill, and that's the first band I'm going to show. This is CDs and vinyl today. So yeah, we'll start off with Overkill, Feel the Fire, and the Fuck You and Then Some EP. Had both these on vinyl for a while, but I had the CD before, and it's obviously a two sort of a disc collection. So happy to pick this up. Good stuff. The first Overkill album. At first, I wasn't a massive fan of it, but I listened to it again, and I enjoyed the fact that it's quite raw sounding compared to some of the albums as they went onwards, of course, because there was obviously more money for better production. But yeah, good stuff on this, you know. Rotten to the Core, Razor Dead, Feel the Fire, and a cover of Sonic Reducer on here. And I can't remember who did the original. Good stuff, and the other disc is obviously mostly live stuff, but well worth having in the collection. So I'm glad I finally got around to picking that up. Up next is Heathen, and this is The Evolution of Chaos. Good stuff, this. Not massively familiar with a lot of Heathen stuff, to be fair. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago, and it's pretty good stuff. It's not bad at all. Good thrash metal. Lee Altus from Exodus is obviously in this band as well. One thing I've noticed about this is the recording of it. It sounds exactly like an Exodus album. I don't know if they're using the same amps and the same kind of thing in the studio, in the same studio. But musically, it just sounds exactly like Exodus. But I think the vocals, if someone would have told me this was John Bush singing on this, formerly of Anthrax and of course Armored Saint, I would have believed it. He really sounds like John Bush. But yeah, stuff like Dying Season, Fade Away, Undone, Red Tears of Disgrace. This is a really good album. This was their first album for a long time, I think. Came out for about 10 years ago. Good thrash. Really enjoy it. I need to give it a few more listens, though, I won't lie. So I need to, you know, go up to the laptop and whack this onto my phone because I've burned it onto the laptop already. So it needs a few more listens, but it's good stuff. Good thrash metal. Definitely worth checking out. Up next is two from the same band, one of the newer wave of thrash bands, which I really, really like. One of my favourites. Saw these on Amazon and they were going for very, very good prices, so I had to nab them straight away. The band is Havoc, and the first one is this an Unnatural Selection? Unnatural Selection, yeah. Bit disappointing though, because on the back of this it says it includes the Point of No Return EP, and it's not on there. I'll put this onto the laptop and it's not on there at all. It's just the album as it is. This is good, but this is amazing. This is Time Is Up, and then you said Fire It Up for some reason. I listened to this earlier today, and this is absolutely outstanding. If you're into thrash metal and you haven't heard this, or you're into Havoc but you haven't heard this album, I can't recommend enough that you go out and grab it straight away. Yeah, I got this on Amazon. It was only about $5.99 on CD. I looked earlier and there's one still in stock. So if anyone loves a bit of thrash or loves Havoc and hasn't got this, I recommend you jump on there and grab it while you can. This is great. Absolutely amazing. I can't say enough good things about it. Great songs. Every single song's brilliant. There's no bad ones on it. This is a perfect album. This is a 10 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. Musicianship's great. Production's great. This thing sounds fantastic. Mixed really well as well. One thing I like about Havoc is the bass always really sort of sticks out when they mix it, which you don't always get on thrash death or black metal albums. Sometimes it can be quite buried in the mix. But this sounds great, you know. I can't say enough good things about it. I really do recommend you grab it if you've not heard it. Yeah, No Amnesty, that is an amazing song. Prepare for Attack. The title track, Time Is Up. If you haven't got this, you've got to grab it. It's absolutely brilliant. Like I said, I listened to it once. I'm going to be listening to it again more this week for sure because it really is that good. Yeah, this is from 2011, and our natural selection, that's from 2013. Also good, but not as good as Time Is Up. Up next is a contender for Album of the Year. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Darcy showed it a few days ago. Metal Mickey posted about it on Facebook, saying it is contender for an Album of the Year. And I have to agree, I listened to this a couple of days ago and it absolutely blew me away. It is, of course, the new one from Onslaught. And this is Generation Antichrist. This is phenomenal. I'm going to be picking this up on vinyl at some point, but it's a bit pricey at the moment, so I'll wait a while for the prices to come down. This is outstanding, showing that the thrash bands of yesteryear, even though they only feature one original member at the moment, I still know how to deliver the goods. This is a phenomenal album. Another great thrash metal album. If you've not got this, once again, I can't recommend that you pick it up enough. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the new vocalist is really, really good. A really, really good fit. I was really gutted when I heard that Cy Keeler had left. I saw them at Bloodstock last year, and it was really, really good. It's good to see Cy Keeler on stage with him. But yeah, he left, found out he was going, and I was gutted, but it actually doesn't matter. This guy's amazing. Once again, this is another album. Every song's really good. Production's fantastic. Great mix. New vocalist fits right in. Sounds fantastic. Yeah, Rise to Power, Strike Fast, Strike Hard. The title track, Empire's Fall, Religious Suicide, Perfect Day to Die. Yeah, Perfect Day to Die, absolutely essential. You've got to grab it. Definitely an album of the year. For me at the moment, there's 3 albums that have come out this year that are my contenders for albums of the year, and they're all thrash metal albums. So this may well be the best, I must say. It really, really is good. Again, if you haven't got it, go and get it because you won't be disappointed. Onslaught, since they reformed back in about 2004, I haven't put out a bad album. You know, Killing Peace was a great return after like 15 years of being away. And I've done a couple of others since that have been really, really good as well. Definitely still know how to deliver the goods. And this new one is absolutely phenomenal. Next is an album that I ain't picked up ever, actually. And I saw these guys at Donington in 1995. And I saw this, one of my sellers, safe sellers on eBay was selling this. I thought, you know what, I've never actually grabbed that, so I'm going to grab it now. And it is Slash's Snake Pit. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. This is from 1995. Yeah, I saw these guys at Donington that year. Don't remember too much about it, although I do remember when Brian Tichy was doing the double kick jumps, it actually felt like they were hitting you in the chest. I've never forgotten that, and that was 25 years ago now. But this is a really good album. Hard rock, you know, bit of blues in there, which you're always going to get from Slash with his sort of style of playing. This has got Matt Sorum on drums, Gilby Clarke on guitar, Dizzy Reed playing keyboards. So a lot of the Guns N' Roses lineup at the time. I think some of the songs are written with Duff McKagan, but he doesn't play the bass. The bass is played by Mike Inez from Alice in Chains. And the singer is a guy called Eric Drover, and I'm not sure he went on to do anything else after this. And I'm amazed, to be honest, because the vocals are absolutely outstanding. To pick this up for £1 was an absolute bargain. I don't know why I slept on it for 25 years, but I've got it now. I've been spinning this in the car a lot this week. Yeah, Dime Store Rock, Begs and Hangers On, Good to Be Alive. Doing fine, Be the Ball, I Hate Everybody But You. This is a great hard rock album, and when you can only grab it for as the small amount of pence that I paid for this, you really can't go wrong. And it's just gutted it took me so long to grab it, but I have now, and it's really, really good. Definitely worth picking up if you like your hard rock. Next up is the Almighty, and this is, what's this called again? Soul Destruction. I picked up a ton of Almighty singles back in the early 90s. I loved them all, and so I thought I've never picked up any albums, and I saw this on eBay for not a lot of money, so I grabbed it. It's okay. Some of it's really good, and some of the songs is just completely forgettable filler. Yeah, Crucify, Free and Easy, Bandaged Knees is really good, but then some of it is just completely forgettable. Definitely an album of two halves. Some really good stuff and some really average stuff. Power Trip in the album that followed this is much better, I think. But yeah, that's the Almighty, Soul Destruction. I think it's 1989, might be 1990. But still go and pick it up. Next up is an album that was my first bad experience on eBay. I bought this off of someone and kind of forgot about it because, like, I went through my purchase history and then 3.5 weeks later, still I hadn't received it. Messaged the seller saying, is this coming? No response. So 4 days later, I asked for a refund. No response again. And then I checked back on his feedback and then noticed it was only like 66%. So made a noob error there by not checking that out. But eBay sent me a refund, which was very good of him. And then I picked it up from someone else who was not charging as much and sent it out pretty much straight away. Immortals, Blizzard Beast from 1997. Very, very raw black metal. Listened to this at work the other day. Yeah, it's very raw sounding. No polished production job here. And this was the last gap in the Immortal collection I needed to fill. Really good stuff. Love the title track. The whole album's good. Very, very raw sounding black metal. And yeah, finally got my hands on it after the first guy just didn't bother sending it. But it's here now, and I'm glad to have it. A triple whammy now. From a band that I knew of years ago, but I didn't pick up any of their stuff for some reason. And now I'm glad I finally have. It's Living Colour. This is Vivid from 1988, I think. Not listening to this one yet. Time's Up from 1990. I have listened to this one about 3 or 4 times. There's some really, really good stuff on this album. And the follow-up to that, which was Stain from 1993. Yeah, the two I've listened to I really, really enjoy. As a guitar player, Vernon Reid is such an amazing and underrated guitar player, I think. And Corey Glover, I think his name is, on vocals. Sounds amazing. I watched some footage of him on YouTube from only last year, and he still's got an amazing voice now. These guys are very underrated, I think. Don't get the appreciation and the love that they deserve. One of those bands, it's a bit hard to sort of put them into a genre, a little bit like Faith No More. They're not really hard rock, they're not really heavy metal. But I'm glad I picked these albums up. Yeah, Time's Up's really good as well. And yeah, need to listen to Vivid. This has got Cult Personality on, and what a riff. Main riff of that song is just brilliant and a great song altogether. So I'm finally glad to get my backside in gear and pick up some Living Colour stuff. Up next, some hair metal, Firehouse, their debut from 1990, and the follow-up from 1992. This one's good, really, really good. Yeah, Reach for the Sky, Rock You Tonight. And then this one is even better, I think, the debut. I'd like to get these on vinyl, but they're quite pricey. I don't think they've ever been reissued. Yeah, Rock on the Radio, All She Wrote, Shake and Tumble. Don't Walk Away, really good ballad. Love Is a Lifetime right towards the end, I think was quite a big hit in the States back in the day. The only criticism I have of this is the drum sound on it. It's a little bit, drums almost sound like they're electronic. It's very massively produced, as you would expect a hair metal band to be from back in this time. But yeah, it's still a really good album. It's just drum sound isn't that great on it. I prefer it to not be quite so overproduced. But yeah, very late to the party on these guys. I've known of for years, but only really got around to picking them up just recently. Both these are really good albums. Yeah, like to get them on vinyl, but you don't see them very often, and they're quite pricey when they do pop up. So I'll just have to be patient on that one. But yeah, that's the first two Firehouse albums, self-titled and Hold Your Fire. That one's from 1992, and the debute's from 1990. Sticking with the hair metal theme, Trickster. What's this one called? I think it's just self-titled. Now this is probably about as close to pop music as metal ever got. I like this album. There's some really good stuff on this. Line of Fire, Heart of Steel, One in a Million. I absolutely love that song. It's incredibly commercial, but it's really good. There's one criticism I've got of this album though, is that it's so overproduced. It's unreal. I'm not joking. If you turn the guitars right down, brought in some synths and brought them up in the mix, had 5 separate guys singing 1 or 2 lines of the lyrics, and this could almost have been released by a boy band. It's that poppy and overproduced. Yeah, it really is about as close to pop music as you're going to get. However, the follow-up here from 1992 is much better. They must have known that things were happening in Seattle. Obviously, this was back in '92, so toned down the. It's still well produced, but it's nowhere near as slickly produced. It rocks a lot more, and it's a lot better for it as well. Yeah, Road of a Thousand Dreams, damn good. Rocking Horse, Blood Rock, Nobody's a Hero, What It Takes. I'd recommend picking this one up over the debut because it just rocks that much more. Debute's good, but very, very slickly overproduced as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, if you're going to grab a Trickster album, this is the one I would recommend you pick up first. Dokken's Dysfunctional from 1995. This was their reunion, first studio album for 8 years, since 1987's Back for the Attack. This one's from 95. You know, if you know Dokken, you know that Don Dokken and George Lynch used to butt heads quite a lot. So this is why they didn't make an album together for such a long time. It's okay. There's some really good stuff on this and some absolute filler that's completely forgettable. I picked this up for not a lot of money. Yeah, not essential. But if you could pick it up for a decent price, I'd recommend it. But yeah, don't pay too much for it because it's not that good. But it's still okay. White Lion from 1987. This is called Pride. Really good stuff. I've had this on vinyl for quite a while, and so I've decided to grab the CD at last. Didn't pay much for it. This is a good album. Mike Tramp on vocals sounds great. James Amenzo on bass, who's went on to be in quite a few things. And Vito Bratta, I think his name is, on guitar. A phenomenally underrated guitar player. This guy knows how to play the guitar. Great stuff. Yeah, Hungry, Lonely Hearts. When the Children Cry. Everyone remembers that song from back in the day. This is really good. I've also grabbed the follow-up, which I've also had on vinyl for a while. Big Game. Really good stuff. Going Home Tonight. Let's Get Crazy. Don't Say It's Over. And a nice cover of, I think it's Golden Earring, Radar Love on this. Yeah, picked these up because they were pretty cheap, so glad to have them in the collection at last. Yeah, good hair metal, hard rock. If you've not heard them, check them out. They're pretty good. Up next is a band from my youth, Ugly Kid Joe. Ugly as They Want to Be. This is like a mini album, about 6 tracks. Everything About You is on this. Obviously, everyone knows that one. But Whiplash Liquor, Too Bad. Madman. Played this a lot back in the day. I had a cassette sort of around late 91, early 92. Picked this up on vinyl not long ago as well at last. I've been missing that for a while. I've got this one on vinyl. You don't see it very often, but it's the full album, America's Least Wanted. This is from '92. I love this. Great stuff on here. Neighbour, So Damn Cool. Busy Bee, Goddamn Devil. That's got Rob Halford on backing vocals. Yeah, these guys are everywhere back in '92 when I was 15. I still love them now, you know. Tongues are in their cheeks, didn't take themselves seriously. Sort of one of the last of the good time sort of hard rock, sort of metal from the before grunge came along and wiped everything out. Really good stuff. Yeah, got this on vinyl. Quite lucky to have that. Because when you get to sort of 1992, you don't see many records from that sort of point on. So lucky to have that on vinyl as well. But good album to have. I like it. The latest one from Metal Church. Damned if you do. I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot I bought this. I looked through my pile of CDs and saw it there. I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So I can't give an opinion on that because I haven't listened to it yet. But yeah, I picked it up. I'm looking forward to giving it a listen this week. Plugging a hole in the Judas Priest collection. Another one I'm not listening to yet. Nostradamus. This is from about 2014, I think. Yeah, picked up for a few quid. Plugging a hole in the Priest collection. So the only one I haven't got now is the debut Rock-a-Roller. So yeah, Judas Priest, Nostradamus. Can't really say anything about that because I've not heard it yet. Another one I'm not listened to yet. Racer X Superheroes from 1999. Yeah, once again, can't really say anything because I've not listened to it yet. But another one I need to whack in the car and give it a spin at work this week. And two from this band now, last of the CDs. Giant. I remember hearing the track from these guys on a cassette. Got free with like Kerrang back in the day. And the follow-up, Time to Burn from 1992. Not listened to Dave yet, but listened to this one just a couple of days ago at work. Sort of hard rock, melodic rock. Really good stuff, actually. Yeah, not a brilliant album, though. There's a couple of songs in here that are quite ballady that just are not necessary. There's ballads on here already, and then there's just a few too many, and it kind of spoils the flow of the album. But yeah, it's still good stuff. And the first one, yeah, I'm still not listened to yet, but looking forward to giving it a listen. Yeah, don't know too much about these guys, to be honest, but I do remember the name being around back in the day. Again, another sort of hard rock band that were a bit late to the party. Came around in the early 90s when the scene was about to die on its arse when grunge hit. Right, that's all the CDs done. Now on to some records that I picked up recently. Metal Church, A Human Factor from 1991. This has just been reissued, actually, but this is an OG press. Picked this up a few months ago now. Mike Howe on vocals. Really like Mike Howe's vocals. All the stuff he's done with Metal Church has been really good. But yeah, The Human Factor, Date with Poverty. Agent Green, Betrayed, the fight song. This one's really, really good. I'm finally glad to pick this up. I did bid on it a while ago, but I got outbid. And I'm glad to finally get it in the collection, I must say. Metal Church, one of those bands. Don't really think they'll put out a bad album ever. So yeah, after a long time finally chasing this, glad I finally managed to pick it up. So that's The Human Factor from Metal Church from 1991. Trivium's What the Dead Men Say. This came out this year, I think, early this year. Yeah, a lot of people give Trivium a lot of grief. I don't understand why. I think they're a really good band. They've never put out a really bad album, I don't think. And I really enjoy this one. Yeah, the title track's great. Catastrophist is great. Sickness on Shoes, Scatter in the Ashes. Really good stuff. Trivium, a bit sort of like old school Metallica with some Maiden thrown in there if you're not familiar with them. I really like this. Glad I picked it up. Picked up the CD at the same time when it first came out. Good album. Give them a try. But not for everyone, but I do like them. So that's, yeah, What the Dead Men Say, the latest release from Trivium. The first album in 29 years. Acid Rain. This is really good. It's only H from the original lineup. But if you're going to wait 29 years for an album, at least it's a good one when it finally comes along. Yeah, the new Hello, My Piece of Hell, Sense of Independence, Hardship, Ripped Apart, United Hates. This is really good thrash metal. Saw these guys at Bloodstock a couple of years ago. They were headlining the Sophie Lancaster stage, and it was just an amazing gig. H was fantastic, and they said about they were going to be doing a new album, and this came along about a year afterwards. But it was worth the wait. Good homegrown thrash from here in the UK. Acid Rain, I can't remember what it's bloody called. The Age of Entitlement, that's it. Yeah, got the CD first, had that for quite a while, and then finally saw this for a good price on Amazon, so picked it up. Good UK thrash metal from Acid Rain. This one's yeah, obviously in the early days they were a bit tongue in cheek, but they're taking themselves a little bit more seriously now, but without being too serious. Yeah, pick it up if you haven't got it. It's good stuff. The Best of Jimi Hendrix. I've got all these songs already on various albums, but sometimes there's nothing wrong with just whacking a decent Best of on the turntable. I know every single song on this. Had the CD for ages. And I picked this up because it was pretty cheap on Amazon. It was only £12.50. We all know what Amazon can be like. One day it's £12.50. Next day it's 30 quid. So you've got to grab them when you see them. Fantastic songs on this. 2 LP set, which is kind of annoying because you're getting up and flipping the record over after every 3 songs. But it is what it is, you know. Classic sort of bluesy rock from back in the late 60s. Yeah, what else can you say? Jimmy, the best guitar player that ever lived as far as I'm concerned. Really glad I picked this up. Over to Canada now. Killer Dwarfs. And I can't remember the bloody title. Stand Tall. I really like these guys. They're never going to knock you out. I've got about 4 of their albums, and they're all the same. There's some really, really good stuff on there, but some filler at the same time. But if you can pick them up for a good price, they're definitely worth adding to your collection. Stand Tall, Up to You and Me, Through Animal Eyes, Keep the Spirit Alive, Out on the Streets, By the Hand That Feeds. Hard rock, hair metal. This one was out in 87, I think. This one is really hard to find on CD. It's bloody expensive. So if I'm going to get this on CD, I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm going to have to be patient because I think I saw it on Amazon and then people are asking like 50, 60 quid, and there's no way in hell I'm paying 50, 60 pounds for a CD. But this was only about £6 or £7 on vinyl. Definitely worth picking up. Good stuff. Killer Dwarfs. And then the follow-up from the following year. Big deal. This is the first. No, it wasn't the first Killer Dwarfs album I got, actually. The first one's Dirty Weapons from 1990. Yeah, this one's from 88. Good stuff. Oh, God. Yeah, Tell Me Please, We Stand Alone, Union of Pride, stuff like that. Good hard rock hair metal from Canada. This one from 88. Again, didn't pay too much for this. I've got the special edition of this on CD, and the extra tracks are really, really good actually. So if you can find the CD with the extra tracks on, I'll highly recommend picking it up. Yeah, because it's definitely worth your money, because you won't be paying a lot for it either, because it's quite inexpensive. So yeah, more stuff from Canada. Another Killer Wolves album. Damaged Plans, Newfound Power. Finally glad to have this in the collection. First time available on vinyl, I think. This is done by Music on Vinyl. If you're not someone who's that keen on reissues and that, then don't worry, because Music on Vinyl do a really good job with their reissues. 2 LP set, again, kind of annoying. 3 songs aside. Yeah, it just gets on my bloody nerves when they do that. But it is what it is. Obviously, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul from Pantera in this band, and Pat Lachman on vocals, who was in Rob Halford's band, and he was a guitar player, I think. Yeah, not a knockout album by any stretch of imagination, but good to have it in the collection. Some really good stuff on there, like Breathing New Life, Explode, Save Me. Yeah, it's sad to think we're living in a world now that where neither of the Abbott brothers are alive anymore. I can still remember coming home from work the day that Dimebag was murdered, and just couldn't believe what I was reading, and just didn't want to believe it was true. Just don't know why anyone would have done what they did, but it is what it is. Everyone still remembers him, obviously, and now Vince is also gone now as well. He passed away a couple of years ago. Um, yeah, sad to think that neither of them are no longer here, but glad to finally add this to the collection. Not as essential as Pantera, but still good stuff. Warrior Soul, last decade, dead century. Saw these guys at Stone Free Festival a couple of years ago, and I saw them at Donington in 1995, and I won't deny it, I completely forgot about them. Corey Clark still sounded really good, great vocals, good album. This is from 1990. I think this is their debut. Yeah, stuff like We Cry Out, The Losers, Tripping on Ecstasy, probably the best song on this album. I really enjoy it. Glad I've rediscovered these guys because I'd completely forgotten about them. I also grabbed the follow up. This is from 91, I think. Yeah, Drugs, God and the New Republic. Good stuff on this. The title track, Rocket 88, Jump for Joy, Real Thing. The Wasteland, probably my favourite song on this. Really glad to finally grab stuff from these guys and remember about them because I just completely forgot about them. Good stuff. Warrior Soul. Yeah, should have been bigger than they were, I think. But, you know, sometimes these things happen, don't they? But good stuff from them. They're worth checking out. He's got a fantastic voice. Quite gravelly and quite punky, but without doing it. Overdoing it, I should say. Really good stuff. Warrior Soul. A band now that I discovered through the VC. I think the first person who showed this was Andy, Mr. Cloudy Milder. He described it, and I really liked the sound of it. I thought I need to check those guys out, and then completely forgot about it. And then a while later, the Rock Scout showed it on Instagram, and it reminded me of it. So I thought, oh yeah, I need to check it out. Went on YouTube, listened to a couple of songs. I thought, yeah, that's for me. And then only about a week or two later, one of my favourite sellers on eBay had a copy for sale. Went up for auction, and I won the auction. Cost about 20 quid in the end with the postage and packaging. Really, really glad to finally add this to the collection. Swords Metalized from 1986. These guys are from Canada. Fantastic album. Every song's a winner on this. And this is in great condition. To think this record's 34 years old, you wouldn't know. It's absolutely mint condition. The record's great, the sleeve's great, and the music's fantastic. Children of Heaven, Stoned Again, Out of Control, The End of the Night, Runaway, Stuck in Rock, Evil Spell. I think this is an album that's a favourite of Dave Mustaine's and Dave Ellison's from Megadeth. So that is a fantastic endorsement right there. Yeah, really glad to pick this up. Didn't pay that much for it, in fantastic condition, and I picked up the CD just this past week as well. If you're like me and you've been sleeping on this one for a while and you're into traditional old school heavy metal, do yourself a favour and grab it because it really is very, very good. Sword Metalized from 1986, Canadian heavy metal, really good stuff. And the last two bits are a couple of bits I picked up at Record Fair last week. First record fair I've been to since January because of obviously the whole COVID stuff. I only picked up two bits, but two bits I was really glad to grab. The first one I've actually not heard, and I've got a lot of this band's stuff from the early days, but I've never actually picked this one up. Never seen it in all the times I've been going to record fairs and going to record stores, record shops. And I've learned over the years, when you see stuff you don't see often, you need to grab it there and then, because we've all made that mistake of thinking, oh, I'll go back and get it next week, and of course it's gone. This is in amazing condition as well. Paradise Lost, Shades of God from 1992. Never seen this anywhere, and it's in absolutely immaculate condition. Sleeve's fantastic. Vinyl's great. Doesn't like it's ever been played on the Music for Nations label. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to listen to it as soon as I finish recording this video. Paradise Lost, a really, really good band. I remember back in '93 when their Icon album dropped, it was absolutely everywhere. Um, Once again, my mate Glenn, he had it, and we just played it loads and loads and loads. The one thing I will say about Paradise Lost, I've seen them twice at Bloodstock, and both times they were really, really boring, which is unfortunate. But they're playing again next year, providing everything goes ahead, of course. I think they're doing Draconian Times in full, so I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that. And I'm looking forward to giving this a spin once I finish recording this video. Yeah, First Press, Paradise Lost, Shades of God from 1992. Really good stuff. And the last one is an album I've been looking to add to the collection for a long time. I remember seeing the single Shuffle It All on TV back in like '92 when this first came out. I'm thinking, I really like that, but I never ever listened to it, and finally picked it up now. Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds from 1992. Izzy, obviously, if you don't know, you probably do know, one of the original members of Guns N' Roses, the original rhythm guitar player. I think when he left, that's when things started to go wrong in the Guns camp, because I think he was the glue that kind of held the band together. Yeah, but he left, I think it was in 1992, early 92, maybe 91 actually. And he put this out, and I never actually checked it out the first time around, but I'm finally glad I got around to doing it. Really good stuff. If you're expecting this to rock like Guns N' Roses, it doesn't. Well, it does in a couple of places, but for the most part, this has got more of a sort of a Rolling Stones vibe to it. Guitar distortion is turned down a bit, so it's not really, really rocking. Quite a bit of piano on this, but this is really, really good. If you like sort of Rolling Stones type stuff, I highly recommend picking this up. Yeah, I saw this on eBay the other week, and the opening bid was at least 30 quid. So I didn't bother. And then I picked this up last week, and he only wanted 20 for it. And again, it's in absolutely amazing condition. A record that's 28 years old, you never know. Sleeves in great nick, inner sleeves in great nick. Outer jacket's in fantastic condition. Somebody knock him, pressure drop, shuffle it all. Train tracks, cutting the rug. Take a look at the guy. Come on now inside. This is really, really good. If you've not heard it, I recommend checking it out. Yeah, wish I hadn't left it so long, but I got there in the end. Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds, and I think it's just self-titled. From 1992, I've only ever seen this once before at a record fair, and they wanted 35 quid for it, and I wasn't prepared to pay that. But for £20, absolutely, that was mine. Right, guys, quite a long video. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks to all those who have watched and who leave comments. It's much appreciated. Thanks to those who have subscribed. Yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Yeah, let me know what you think of some of this stuff that I've showed today. Right, guys, cheers for sticking around, and I will catch you next time. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.